And me standing in there like that. They were like, Pop, why you all like that? Why you tall like that? Why you all like that?
Roethlisberger, Juju Smith-Schuster is...
I'm up for Eddie, I'm up.
And watch him just come downhill. Boom! It's perfect. He does it perfectly. He knows Juju likes to run those shallow crossers. Perfect. Perfect execution.
Lost between all of the craziness that just happened with Deshaun Watson making his decision, which we made a video on this prior to the video that you're watching right now, is the fact that Juju Smith-Schuster decided to form a super team that is going to break social media. And when I say social media, I'm talking about one platform in particular. Before we get to the content, we're still back on for the $500 giveaways. All you have to do to enter is subscribe and turn on our notifications on this channel. We do the same exact giveaways for a follower on my Instagram page. You just have to follow me on Instagram for a chance to win $500. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? There's been no division in free agency so far that I've created more content on than the AFC West. It has been one of the most active free agencies in NFL history, but more particularly, the AFC West has just been on a tear. This all started with the Denver Broncos trading for Russell Wilson, and this took them from a mid-tier team to an actual contender in the AFC West. It seemed like a game of tennis, honestly, because the Denver Broncos hit the ball to the other side. The LA Chargers figured, hey, we need to do something to neutralize Patrick Mahomes and neutralize Russell Wilson. We need to strengthen up our defense, and they went ahead and traded for Khalil Mack. In addition to that, they were able to sign Sebastian Joseph Day. He's going to team up with Linval Joseph. On the other side is Joey Bosa, and of course, you have JC Jackson, the top cornerback in the market that got signed to the LA Chargers. Through this entire situation, it seemed like the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs were the most quiet teams. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are expected to move on from Tyrann Mathieu, primarily because they can't afford him, and he is the heart and soul of that defense. They were able to replace him with Justin Reed, which, in my opinion, might be a little bit of a downgrade from Tyrann Mathieu, but at least you get someone to fill his place. And of course, the Las Vegas Raiders stayed fairly quiet up until 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they were able to trade Yannick Ngakoue to the Indianapolis Colts and then sign Chandler Jones. They extended Mad Max Crosby, which we have a documentary on him in the works, something you guys should be very excited about, something we've been working on for quite some time, and I'm going to give you a preview of another documentary we have in the works in this video. Ultimately, the very next day, the Las Vegas Raiders upped the ante a little bit. They traded for Davante Adams. They paid a hefty price for him too. A first-round pick and a second-round pick in the NFL draft is not something that you typically see offered for star players. And as a result, Davante Adams has officially reunited with his old college buddy, Derek Carr. Now the AFC West has Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr with a brand new weapon on offense. Defensively, all the teams made some additions, but the Kansas City Chiefs have been the most quiet up until this point. The most notable thing they were able to do was the fact that they restructured Frank Clark's contract and were able to retain him as a Kansas City Chief. But we just got some breaking news. Juju Smith-Schuster has officially made his decision in regards to what team he's going to play for next year, agreeing with the Kansas City Chiefs on a 1-year, $10.75 million contract, according to Ian Rappaport. This report kind of slipped beneath the cracks, if I'm being honest, and I was so busy with the Deshaun Watson video that it took me a while to finally get to this. But regardless, it's a fairly remarkable deal. For the Kansas City Chiefs, you get a player that historically has proven to be a remarkable talent when he's the wide receiver too. I don't know if this was due to Ben Roethlisberger's regression, because you have to factor that as well. But when Juju Smith-Schuster was flanked by Antonio Brown during his 2018 NFL season, he had over 1,400 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns. The very next year, once Antonio Brown left, of course, Juju Smith-Schuster didn't play a full season, but his numbers declined a little bit. And in 2020, he saw a bit of a resurgence, but unfortunately, the narrative surrounding Juju then was the fact that he liked to dance on TikTok in inappropriate times with his good old pal Chase Claypool. And then this past year, 5 games into the season, he unfortunately suffered a season-ending injury. This was really really tough for Juju Smith-Schuster when you consider the fact that he really bet on himself for the 2021 season. Last year, he decided to take a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers for $8 million so he could really show everyone that he could be a wide receiver one. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. He suffered a season-ending injury, and the market for him was supposed to be fairly sketchy. But as a result of Davante Adams now being off of the market, which I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs were players for it in the beginning, and Allen Robinson now being off the market as well, Juju Smith-Schuster has decided to join the Kansas City Chiefs. He had this to say: "To all of Steelers Nation, thank you for taking me in and making me a part of the family from the moment that I was drafted. Y'all took me in so quickly and I really needed it. I was a wide-eyed 20-year-old who was sent to the East Coast away from my family for the first time in my life, and you made me feel right at home despite all of the loneliness I should have felt. These have been the best 5 years in my life. I owe so much to the fans who embraced me and who made playing on Sundays in Pittsburgh so special. It was an honor to wear the black and gold for you all. I love you." I'm gonna be honest, I'm very skeptical when the Kansas City Chiefs bring on brand new wide receivers, because historically those brand new wide receivers don't typically perform well. I mean, when you look at Kelvin Benjamin, which you could say he was washed a few years ago when the Chiefs brought him in, obviously he was signed in the middle of the season as like a wide receiver 5. We could throw that one away. But you look at Sammy Watkins, and he's had moments where he was a good wide receiver, but at the same time, he never broke past 600 receiving yards in a season with the Kansas City Chiefs. More recently, you have Josh Gordon, who had trouble also establishing his role with the Kansas City Chiefs, but fortunately for him, the Kansas City Chiefs decided to bring him back. Bear in mind, the man played in 12 games and had 5 receptions for 32 yards and 1 touchdown in his age 30 season. Now, again, you could say he's washed. You could say all these receivers are washed. It just, historically, brand new wide receiver additions don't work with Patrick Mahomes the way you think they're going to work with Patrick Mahomes. On paper, I'd imagine every wide receiver working with Mahomes would be absolutely prolific. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is probably the best one to join the Kansas City Chiefs up until this point. He's still just 26 years old. He's going into his age 26 season, and he's in a situation where he needs to perform to the best of his ability if he wants to get a big contract for a wide receiver. So I really like him as the wide receiver 2 for Kansas City, and I really hope he could bounce back because this year is absolutely crucial. He goes to a team with a winning culture that's made it to the past 4 AFC championships and 2 out of the past 4 Super Bowls. He has, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes, and I know what's on your mind. How on earth will this affect Jackson Mahomes' legacy?
Corvette, hop in a motherfucking jet like that.
Well, I do expect these two to create some truly riveting content for TikTok. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. I 100% think this definitely factored into Juju Smith-Schuster's decision, but needless to say, I think this was the right decision for Juju. TikTok or not, which I really hope that didn't factor into his decision. We have a Jackson Mahomes documentary coming out really soon. Once all the free agency craziness ends, documentary season's gonna come back once new season slows down. I have you guys in mind for some really riveting content. Murder mysteries will come back soon as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.